Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Play the Hits. Nick, we're kicking off a fresh, nasty project tonight here. What do you think?
I don't ever remember Doom looking like this.
Doesn't it look glorious? Well, actually, and I was going to let you do the honors here.
It looks like a corporate boardroom threw up all over the screen.
You get to pick Doom Guy's skin. Now we've got some kind of vanilla ones. We've got classic Doom Marine from the old school. We've got something called Hot Rod. This is new to me. Praetor
Where
from the
did these
first game.
skins come from?
Some of them are like classic Doom games. Some of them...
No, I mean, did you have to, like, pay money for these?
No. A lot of them you unlock just in the game, or they just give you
Isn't
for
this a
free.
first-person game? Do you ever see your skin?
You see your arms. That's important.
So you don't ever actually see these skins?
Actually, no, you do see him in cutscenes.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Alright, so... I mean, Purple Pony, obviously, but...
Well,
what's your
my vote is for classic Doom Guy, but that's
classic
me.
Doom guy? Okay, I like how you think.
You know how vanilla I am.
Hey, there's something to be said about the classics. We're going classic Doom Marine. On his unicorn stage.
Now, do I... like... You're gonna need to give me a refresher what the first game was about, because that is, like, long in my memory graveyard.
Alright, so... You're a guy... and you kill the legions of hell.
Oh, alright. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Alright, so, because I don't want to start completely from scratch and want to keep all of my cool upgrades and everything, what we're going to do is just go through all the missions again, one at a time, so that I don't actually have to track all of these things down, and it doesn't end up being a 30-hour playthrough.
Sure, that's fine.
And, I hate to say it, much like Mega Man, this is a game I haven't played in a little while.
Oh, well, this is gonna go swimmingly.
So, whereas 2 years ago, I was playing this daily and was doing several challenges and dominating them, it might be a little bit different right now.
Against all
Oh, hey, look, they even give us the cutscenes.
hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
Only you, Nick.
Rip and tear
Only you.
until
Hey,
it is done.
He said
That
the
was
thing.
that was the theme song to one of the James Bond movies, wasn't it?
Rip
Only
and
you.
tear until it is done. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's the newest James Bond movie.
Rip and tear, James Bond. Rip and tear until it's done.
It's sung by Will Smith's daughter, Jada Pinkett Smith.
I can't tell if you're being serious anymore.
Neither can I. So.
Okay, cool. So Nick, you just asked me about the plot of this game.
I'm sorry, I'm still picturing James Bond's new movie, Rip and Tear.
Rip and tear. You know, given some of his track record with women, that could be not so great. Depending on how they decide the tone
That's about
of
as
the film.
on the nose as Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. Smell my Goldfinger. Oh, he's got a face in this one. I mean, you don't get to see it, but...
I knew he'd be white.
How did you get... Well, I mean, he's only been white since the very first game on the SNES and the PC engine. Remember when, like, the health bar was literally just his face? So, this is one of those games... I don't know if you plan on actually playing this on your new computer, but boy, like, my rig is now a couple of years old, and it still runs like absolute butter. Like, 1080p, I can pull 145 frames a second.
There's nothing resembling id Software left.
No, there is not. But just so you know, this is a game that will not only put your new computer through its paces, but look real good doing it.
Oh, hey, it's the Stargate.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fargate. Legally distinct Fargate.
Let's get doomed. That's what they say, right?
No.
No spelled Y-E-S.
I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I thought that just said moo.
We're gonna go ahead and turn the volume down a little bit.
What, too much Slayer for you?
A little too much Slayer. Might be a little too much Slayer for our audience. How do I turn you down? There it is.
I'm waiting to see if we hit the credits, if they still manage to shove, like, John Carmack's name in there like they did in the first one.
Now,
When
let
he
me
had
see if I can-
zero things to do with it.
Okay, well, I remembered how to use the chainsaw. All right. And turn down the settings a little bit for the sake of the stream. We don't
Good
need
show
no-
prep, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right? Present form compute. Recommended for best... whatever. Sure. Okay, I seem to have turned off a lot of this. Ah, here we go. Instead of nightmare, let's just go down to high on everything.
Are these the graphic settings, Nightmare?
Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
We're just going high for everything. Hopefully that will give us a butter smooth frame rate for the stream. It's amazing how much computational power is required to stream a relatively new game. Ooh, I'm still getting some chug. Are you?
No, not really.
Okay, maybe it's just me.
Could be. Could be.
We'll see how it looks in the final product. Tonight can just be our demo.
Likely nothing will ever be worse than the first episode of our Resident Evil 7 stream.
Remind me what happened there.
It was borderline unwatchable.
Is that right? Why don't I remember
Yeah.
that?
And not just because I dropped that ethnic slur in the 10-minute mark either.
Like you do. Like you do. Adjust the resolution scaling mode. I mean... Off?
About 10 more minutes, this is going to end up just looking like the original Doom.
Apply changes. Alright. No one needs Doom to look perfect. Except this guy. Oh!
Well, this is a nice little, first stage.
You know, this game has some of the most memorable FPS stages, period.
I don't know.
One thing that you'll love about this as much as the first one is not only how silky smooth the action is, but just how much fun the level design is in all of
It
this.
still remains chaotic and frantic. The level design is straightforward and not complicated. That's what, and I've said this before, that's what killed Turok 2 for me, is
Oh, really?
it was a great game. It just, everything was like a big freaking maze.
Ah,
And it was
okay.
just not fun to navigate, especially when you had to go collect 20 doodads and you're like, well,
Ah,
I
the
don't know where the
doodads.
last two are, and I'm just done. So, good luck, Turok.
So long, Turok.
So long, Turok, as I uninstall the game for the second time.
That's a bummer.
I mean, come on. For a game that had a cerebral bore, I gave that up out of frustration.
Now I have to remember what I mapped all the buttons to, so forgive me here while I... Oh, that's fire.
Oh, that was good. Well, if I wasn't mid-yawn, I'd get a laugh out of that.
So setting enemies on fire is really helpful in this game. That's chainsaw. What's F? Oh, F is change your weapons mode. Okay.
His respects.
Yeah, pay respects. So I have to kill all his
he's a
friends.
priest now. Okay.
Yeah. I forget why, but they must die.
You got like an evil cult now or something?
Yeah, well, there's 3 of them, and we've already got 1.
Wow, 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, they're kind of setting a deliberate pace for you.
Oh boy, at this rate, this game will be over with in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. My guess, though, is that we may be able, with all of my upgrades and everything, we may be able to get through this in maybe 8 to 10 tops. Assuming that I don't have to keep dicking with all of the settings. It's also nice that I don't have to go around finding all the secret items.
Yeah, I mean, that's all well and good, but not as much.
I mean, it's fun, but I fully expect that by the end of this, you'll want to play this game, and so best not to spoil everything for you.
I don't know, my gaming backlog is pretty big. I haven't even started playing Elden Ring yet.
Yeah, but Doom is like comfort food, you know? There's always a time to just pop in some Doom and experience the simple joys of blowing up giant brains.
I've been itching for an excuse to play through Perfect Dark, strangely enough.
Perfect Dark, okay.
I'd love to get a good emulator running of the Xbox version, but unfortunately that doesn't exist, apparently.
I was gonna say, though, with your new computer, I think your days of worrying about emulator settings are done.
But there's no such emulator for the Xbox Live Arcade, so I don't know of any way to play it.
You know, where there's a will, there's a pirate's way.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world who's asked this question.
Exactly,
so who
yeah.
knows?
You know, if the game has been released, someone's pirating it. And God knows you've purchased legal copies. Actually, wait, remind me, you have an Elgato, right? You can stream from your home consoles, correct?
I don't have any home consoles. I only have the computer.
Oh, you don't have any consoles at home anymore. Okay.
No. It's just, I think that, well, I mean, I had a PS4, but I think I basically gave it to my sister at this point.
Okay.
There's just no point in having any consoles when you have, a PC.
That's true for the most part. I will say there are some PlayStation exclusives that I truly enjoy, though.
I can't remember the last time I've looked at an exclusive and was like, oh, I gotta have that.
Though I will say, to Sony's credit, they are starting to put out a lot of their finger quotes exclusives on PC these days.
Well, I'm sure that has nothing to do with the great wars of consolidation going on right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're dead, buddy.
So, how goes the sabbatical?
Pretty good. It's funny. While I'm working, it generally takes me like a solid 2 to 3 months to read through a book, just because I come home exhausted and with very little time to myself. I'm burning through a book a week right now, which just feels great.
Oh, that's good.
Which might not sound like the most exciting sabbatical, but I'm loving it.
You know what? Sometimes slowing down is its own reward. So what are you reading?
Right now, I'm reading The Sympathizer.
Oh.
It is a book about a communist sympathizer who went to the United States following the fall of the capital of Vietnam.
Saigon.
Saigon, thank you. Yeah, really good book. I highly recommend checking it out. It's cool.
No, my brain was just kind of computing what that would look like. Huh.
It's a real good book.
Strangely enough, I hadn't heard of it, but it's something I can see myself.
I always
reading.
find myself coming back to the shotgun.
I mean, it's not like I'm spending the next 4 months reading the, Stormlight Chronicles of Narnia.
So is your plan to, like, blitz them straight through?
Pretty much, and then just never pick up the series again. I'm not waiting around for Sanderson to do
6 more books?
Yeah, fuck that.
If you don't have a good feel for where he's going by the 4th
7 minutes, but I got to that part of the stream already where Nick just says fuck that to something.
Yeah. No, I like them, but I like, when I pick one of them up, it's such a long project. I need a palate cleanser in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the problem I had with Wheel of Time. After reading 10 books, part of it was like, oh my god, these are awful. But then another part of my brain was like, well, this is 40 years of this man's literary career. Maybe it wasn't all meant to be read in a 12-month period.
Right? chainsaw.
But at the same time, the doctor doesn't remove the cancer a little bit at a time. He wants to get it all out at once. You just rip that Band-Aid off and get it over with. Wheel of Time.
I will
Jesus,
say
that was like a trauma that I just wanted to get behind me as quick as possible by the time I hit the 7th book.
Boy, that's a high recommendation.
Yeah,
from you.
yeah. It's almost as though I'm not recommending it in any capacity.
Right. I will say I do recommend the Stormlight Archive though.
The
Two
first
books in, and I'm
4.5
intrigued.
books are fine, but the thing is like, okay, and I don't know if this is just me. I'm like about halfway through at this point, and like the Stormlight Chronicles are just so inoffensive that I can't bring myself
They are
to have any strong emotion.
Yeah, they are kind of generic fantasy to start off with,
They
but
feel like a AAA novel is what they feel like.
when he finally settles into the obscene amount of world building he feels compelled to do, and starts focusing on the actual characters and their respective arcs in the second one,
The characters
does
are
get
fine.
engaging.
The characters are fine. Just everything feels so bland. Like
See-
no one has any like interesting personality.
Yeah,
or, like,
that is
things they
absolutely
say.
how I
They
felt
all
after the
feel
first
like
one.
the same person.
Yep. And I hate to be one of those guys that recommends, oh, just get 2 books in and then it gets really good. Because that's overall kind of an unreasonable request to make of anybody. That you have to invest yourself into 3,000 pages of Sanderson
But I
before there's
understand the
any
sentiment.
payoff.
At least it gets better as opposed to the Wheel of Time, where it's like, yeah, it gets worse and it never quite gets better, but you gotta
Well,
read it for some reason.
Yeah, and I guess I should clarify, like, I can't promise you that it continually gets better, because, like I said, I'm only 2 out of 4.
Well, like I
and-
said, it's not offensive. I'm enjoying it.
So-
it's just it's
ahead.
about on the level as like Batman was. Like, I'm gonna read this and probably not reflect a whole lot on it.
Sure.
I'm kind of short selling it, I guess.
Yeah, well,
what
but let
were
me give
gonna
you
say?
let me give you this. There's a part approximately halfway through the second book that I will call the what's a non-spoilerific way to say this? Okay, I'll call it the 7-man melee.
I'm fine with it just being what it is right now.
Okay.
Like, I am fine with it just being a slice of life
Yeah.
of this royal family and
Oh, you get plenty of
Kaladin?
that. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That's all presented interesting, but like I said, it's just the characters just are unsympathetic in any capacity.
Uh-huh. And they really do stay that way until about the second book, with the exception of Dalinar.
Yeah, and Dalinar's wonderful because I love that it seems
I
like
love Dalinar.
we have someone of a reasonable, realistic age. Like,
Yeah.
you give me more older people in my books.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so in the halfway through the second book, there is a Colosseum.
No, I
battle.
don't know. I don't want to hear anything whatsoever about the second book.
Okay.
Yeah. Not to be rude, but I
No,
am
it's okay.
very, very good apparently at tying together patterns and story threads. So I could probably, yeah.
Okay,
It'll probably be more spoilerish than you think.
that's fine, and you'll recognize it when you see it. But that's the moment that sold the series for me.
Like I said, I can keep reading it now. I ain't got no problem with it. But man, this guy can write female characters about as
Oh
well.
God,
as
Shallan is the most
Robert Jordan.
insufferable nuisance,
I am,
and she
actually
only
the
gets
most-
worse.
I think honestly at this point, I find her arc maybe the most interesting because she has the worst plan in the entire world.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of the smartest nobles in the royal court, I'm going to become
Rob
her
her.
ward,
Yeah, right.
and then her soulcaster will mysteriously disappear, and then I will disappear, and then suddenly my family will become rich again, and surely
won't pick up
nobody
on
will
that.
piece these things together. And I'm like, that's almost so bold that it has to be at face value, obviously not going to work kind of situation.
Yeah, you're right, but it's how it doesn't work that's
Yeah,
intriguing.
I'm picturing. I'm going through some scenarios in my head of like, okay, how badly can this go?
So like, yeah, my whole thing with Shallan is like, just give me more Yasna and less Shallan.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's
Yasna's
true.
more interesting than the character that we're meant to sympathize with.
And
But
it's one of those.
it's like you said though. I just get the feeling that Sanderson just isn't the best at writing female characters.
Yeah, and you know what? If you can't write that, don't do it. You know, just if your
Well,
book
to-
is a
to his
bunch of
credit-
white dudes and that's what you can write,
Yeah.
then fine.
You're exactly right, and to his credit, he does keep it down to about 3 female characters to his about 14 male characters.
I mean, if that's where your strength is, that is fine.
Right,
Not
because he
everything has
writes
to-
a compelling, stoic, out of his mind king who's seeing strange visions. I really like Dalinar's whole arc.
Yeah, and Dalinar great, particularly enjoyable.
Dalinar is the reason I kept reading through the end of the first one.
It makes you wonder who the main character is, though. At this point,
He seemed I won't
he,
spoil
he
it.
seems to be the focus, but
Yeah. For what it's worth, he really does seem to be aiming for a kind of Final Fantasy VI style thing where they all get their moments.
yeah, I'm just waiting for the part where Kaladin becomes king or something. I mean, because that's where that story arc, ends.
Well, two
As it
books
always
two books
does.
in that hasn't happened yet, so
Or we're gonna go the other way, and it's just him literally just being a slave the entire series of no consequence.
that would be
Like
hilarious.
I'm waiting for like every opportunity, like where he encounters like Prince Sadius or something by tangentially. I'm waiting for someone to notice him and be like, "Hi, would you like to be my apprentice?" I'm
Right.
waiting for that moment, and it never
you'll get
happens,
there.
and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that it never happens.
No, Kaladin's a really good character. I enjoy him. About halfway through, Sanderson kind of seems to realize, wow, he's kind of a Mary Sue, and then steps back from him a little bit, which is actually kind of refreshing by the time it happens.
Mary Sue, isn't that like your power fantasy character?
Yes.
This is like the trauma porn character. That's the complete opposite.
Yeah, kind of, but at the same time, like, you're probably noticing that he has some mysterious abilities.
Yeah, I'm kind of piecing that together.
Yeah,
as the
and
time
like you
goes
said,
on.
you don't want spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything
No,
more about that.
that's what I want from that character. I want him to have all these supernatural powers and still have to clean out latrines. Like,
Oh,
I
then
want
you won't.
him to
Then you will
just-
not be disappointed.
I just want him to be,
Then you will not be disappointed because that's
I've always wondered what it
exactly.
would be like if Thor decided he was just gonna like be a janitor.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So,
You'll notice I haven't even used the BFG yet.
well, you got to save that. I mean,
But yeah, because I don't think there's much ammo for it in these early stages. One thing I could pull out. Where is it? Where's my sword?
I remember when I was a kid, my younger siblings would have books they'd have to read for school, and one of them they brought home was called the BFG.
The BFG, nice.
I guess it was Big Friendly
9000?
Giant. But that's not where my mind went.
The Big Friendly Giant 9000.
Unironically, yeah.
Wouldn't that have just been the greatest? The Big Friendly Giant 9000.
And you just open it up, it's like it's just Doom Guy, just
Yeah, the first.
massacring a giant.
It's got like these beautiful children's illustrations, from like Rudyard Kipling era, but it's just rip and tear until it is done.
And it's like Dr. Seuss, like whimsical rhymes.
Yeah, right. I rip and tear right over there. I rip and tear most everywhere.
I like how that just came to you immediately.
I rip and tear, for I am fair. The BFG I am. Oh god, that just sounds like a rap.
I have never heard a rap sound like that.
Yeah, I can't really rap though. So.
It's not auto-tuned and it doesn't sound horrible. So, are we in hell, or are we on Earth, or are we just in Los Angeles?
We're kind of in a... Yeah, this is just L.A.
Okay.
We're,
And this
we're in
is
kind
like
of a
before
hellish
the
detour.
demon invasion even starts, I'm guessing, right?
Oh no!
It's just
At
LA.
the end of the first game, like the demon invasion kind of commenced, and now it's
No,
fully underway.
it was an LA joke.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is this our other two priests?
Those are our other two guys.
Oh, this is playing out exactly like playing out exactly like Halo 2.
This game just doesn't really. It just wears all of its motions on its sleeve.
Sacrament of this world to the great Khan Maker will be made, and the energy will be restored
I love that he's wearing his costume from 1992.
From the souls of the non-believers.
You will not save them from their judgment.
Doom guy.
Oh, I thought we were gonna kill them, like immediately.
Rip and tear in outer space. Rip and tear their foolish face.
You cannot interfere.
Rip and tear most every place.
Yes, it's humanity's
That's Codmaker. She's the token enemy that I gotta kill.
resist the will of the Khan Maker.
Okay,
She also likes referring to herself in the third person,
like Jimmy from Seinfeld.
like Jimmy.
Jimmy likes what he sees. Jimmy's very interested in you.
We did it.
Hey, look at that. We made something resembling progress.
Yeah. Wait. What are you asking me here?
Wow, there sure is a lot of things here.
Save and exit? Return to campaign? What do they actually want me to do?
I don't know. You act like I'm the one who paid for the game.
I mean, I guess, except, sure. Oh, that's right. We aren't actually doing like a full... We're just going mission by mission.
Right, you're going
Not bad.
piecemeal.
Yep.
Bit by bit.
Which is fine, because apparently you still get the whole story. It's just instead of automatically zipping you to the next mission, you just have to go back to this menu. We did it! Mission select! Now we're going to Exultia.
Is this place going to be like our Eastern Europe kind of level?
Yeah. Well, and you know, the first level's almost kind of it certainly doesn't give you a bad impression of the game, but it almost seems like kind of generic Doom. And then you start getting some really cool like unexpected levels. Like I love this one in particular. It's just a giant fucking castle.
Well, the first level has to play it very safe, you know.
Uh-huh.
So that, you know, they don't scare anybody off.
Yeah, that's fair. Got a 1-up. And yes, by the end of this game we will be using those 1-ups.
Oh, so this is going to be like where the game kind of segues into Wolfenstein, huh?
Yeah, a little bit actually. You're not wrong. The nice thing about this game, there's really not like a down level, like one that's just I'll get through
The
it.
token water level that no, you don't want to
Yeah,
play.
right.
You
They're
just
all
kind of
fun. Like,
grimace.
yeah, you hop aboard a train, you go into the Icelandic Alps or whatever. Icelandic Alps. That was a lot of words that didn't need to be strung together. You know what I mean. There's a snow level.
Yeah, there's a snow level. I get you. I get that.
Yeah, it's all good. Even the level where you finally do go to actual hell isn't as bland and uninteresting as it sounds.
Well, I mean, you're kind of building up to hell, right? Now,
Hey,
I will
it's these
say,
guys.
I will say this is, oh, that's, God, I used to know what these
The
things
Hell
were
Knight.
called. The Hell Knight, yeah.
Yep. They're back.
I will say this is head and shoulders above the first game.
I enjoy them both a lot. Like it's kind of like the first game wrote the check and the second game cashed it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The first one had a lot to do with, kind of trying to make Doom relevant again, which it
Yes,
did.
and it succeeded. And then this game just
Yeah.
went all in.
That just kind of, yeah. Ooh, this took that goodwill and did something with it besides
Absolutely.
exploit it.
Yeah.
You have to forgive me. I am exhausted. I went and had to get a literal ton of dirt for the raised beds that I built last week.
Okay, so it was a raised bed project. I was just going to ask you, Sarah's thinking about putting some raised beds in our backyard, and I know nothing about gardening whatsoever. I can move the dirt if you'll help her plant it.
You need the raised beds first, don't you?
Details.
Oh, you could build those easy peasy. I mean,
I'm the muscle, you're the logistics guy.
If I can build, yeah, if I can go ahead and build basic, level carpentry beds, you can.
You'd be surprised what I can't build.
You'd be surprised what you can't do until you can.
Every time I buy like a desk or a dresser or something from IKEA, you would not believe. Oh wait, no, you've been there. You would believe the swearing. This man's a priest?
I hardly believe the swearing when you're just trying to execute a right-hand turn on a red light. So, I've seen you try to open a jar of pickles and it basically turned into a George Carlin skit.
Or basically, anytime we play a video game right here on Play the Hits.
So, yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, I got stuck behind the... Gotcha. Alright. You guys are going to pay for my stupidity. You there, eat that.
You know what's a little weird?
Uh-oh.
Besides your lack of health. Oh, okay.
For some reason, they're not eating my grenades.
I'm surprised we haven't heard Capcom hyping up the next Resident Evil game yet.
Yeah, I know. It's been a year. You would think they'd be all over that. Eat it.
So it must mean that
yes.
It must mean what they've got in the works already is probably just another remake. So
yeah,
they must be working on that Code Veronica remake.
I was gonna say, which if it's Code Veronica, I don't mind, but all of the rumors seem to suggest they're skipping Code Veronica and going right to Resident Evil 4.
Because
just a shame.
What I remember hearing is that they have those like being done in tandem.
Oh really?
Like Code Veronica, like. From what I remember hearing is that they're doing them simultaneously because they know that there's a divide between people who wanted the more classic 1 through 3 experience with Code Veronica versus the people who wanted, whatever 4 was.
So Code Veronica is probably my second favorite behind Resident Evil 2. Sorry, I need to remember how to use my sword. I want to show you the sword. Where are my key bindings? Oh, customize key bindings. Fire weapon, chainsaw, melee, equipment launcher, crucible, T. Why did I set something to T? Doesn't matter. We got it. Don't you howl at me. Why won't you blow up? What the hell was that all about? I want to do something really cool.
Maybe it wasn't a red barrel. Maybe it was just red.
It's just an object of no consequence that happens to be red.
The Doom is the game series that got the whole, red barrels explode thing going.
Yeah, so they have to be subversive and make that one do nothing.
And I believe that was, I want to say that was Sandy Bergman, their Mormon designer?
They had a Mormon? How do you know all this stuff?
And he did, some of the best stuff with the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Mormon guy.
Go figure. Well, his rationale was, well, look, we're the good guys, right? We're killing the demons, but this is technically a Christian game.
I like... I love that. I also like the, I hate Facebook memes, but it was essentially a Facebook meme where it said, what was it? Dark Souls. You're trapped in a castle filled with demons. Doom. A castle full of demons is trapped with you.
That's pretty funny.
It is good. I enjoyed it. I was like, can I make that jump? And I was like, yeah, this is Doom. I can make that
Yeah,
jump.
it's Momodora all over again. Where's the switch? Oh, you just jump.
You just jump. Alright, as soon as a properly big enemy shows up, I'm showing you the sword. It's so rewarding to use. Welcome to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'm certainly getting the Wolfenstein vibes here.
Leave your sneakers on the sofa.
Is there gonna be any, like, you know, Hitler's disembodied head? You
No,
know?
nothing like that. Just King
see.
Novik.
Oh, so now we're just, like, straight into Dark Souls.
I almost feel like this wants to lampoon Dark Souls just a little bit.
I'd be okay with that.
It's funny because they always like, you can't take this, and then he takes it anyways. That's like this whole game. You will not do this thing, and then he does the thing. Yeah, here we go. I've already killed one of them.
The surest way to make sure Doom Guy does something is to tell him he can't do it.
Yeah, right. You can't blow a hole in Mars. 5 seconds later, he arms a giant cannon and blows a hole in Mars. That happens in this game, for the record.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
That's how he gets to hell. Don't ask how, but
you will bring down
By shooting a hole into the moon?
it's either the moon or Mars. I'm pretty sure it's
You know,
Mars.
there's something called the hollow moon theory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where people believe that the moon is hollow and there's, like, I don't know, something in it.
See, when we were kids, it used to be there was like a man on the moon, or the moon was made of cheese, and they were delightful little tales that you told children but didn't actually believe. Nowadays, it's all fucking conspiracy theories.
Yeah, nowadays it's just that's where Hillary Clinton sex traffics, you know, children.
Yeah, the children, right? Yeah, that's where her pedophile pizza parlor is, on the moon.
Right.
Damn,
What's
we have
the
so many great
mascot
episode
for-
titles for this one.
Yeah, maybe don't put pedophile in the episode.
Yeah, maybe not
title.
Hillary Clinton's moon pedophile base.
Hillary's lunar harem.
Hillary's moon hair. Now I kind of want to do it. To quote Family Guy, I like Hillary Clinton. I don't care what anybody says. What the? Hold still.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna do that.
Kind of defeats the purpose of the game, I know, but you know, I beat all of like the challenge missions to get everything. I've earned my enemies holding still while I unleash my arsenal on them.
Yeah, but it makes for a boring stream if they all just don't move.
Yeah, I guess.
So I just found out that I guess I'm still subscribed to HBO Max
Oh, really?
now that I've finished suffering through the Watchmen series.
So what are you going to do
And,
with that for another month?
Well, I watched a really interesting 6-episode podcast that was called McMillions.
Okay.
And it was about how the mob rigged the McDonald's Monopoly game from 1990 to 2000.
Oh, I think I saw a YouTube short about that one time.
Yeah, I think NPR did like a small thing about it. But yeah, interesting stuff. Turns out there's this whole big, vast conspiracy with the New York mob and
Oh, I believe it.
choosing winners. And a lot of people, unfortunately, ended up taking $1 million tickets and then owing much of that money to the mob. And then whatever was left went to the IRS for taxes.
Wow.
Because you still got to pay tax on that stuff. So,
Those mob tax dollars.
yeah, you know.
Who are the real criminals in this case, I ask you? It's certainly not Jim Bob and Helen
Well,
who are playing
like
the Monopoly
the
McDonald's thing
reoccurring-
for retirement.
The reoccurring theme was, yeah, you know, you win the $1 million and you get like $25,000 for the next 20 years of your life. And, you know, the mob, you know, whoever the mob would recruit to be the winner would be like, yeah, you know what, you take half and then we take half.
Right?
Except their half was the tax-free half.
Oh,
So-
God.
And there's just this poor little old lady, like, I won $1 million, but somehow financially I was more behind than before I won $1 million.
Oh god, that's
How
the
does that
saddest,
work?
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. Because you know, like she was looking forward to like giving her grandkids some college money or something. She wasn't gonna go out and buy a Mercedes with it or anything.
Yeah, well, the only ones driving away with the Mercedes in that situation
The
was
mob,
the Colombo crime family. So.
Yeah, right, the Gambinos. Oh shit! Hey, you stop it.
Yeah, no, it was funny because like there was a moment where they're like, and who was behind all this?
Grandma
The Colombos.
Ethel. Oh,
And I was like, all right,
Not
I like how
Grandma
you
Ethel.
said that like it needs no explanation because the only Columbo I know was a detective and my
Yeah,
grandpa
right.
watched him. So, and I guess the Columbos were also a crime family and not just a man who solved crimes. But
hey, a 1-up.
yeah, there's a few of those. So basically, a 1-up is like an instant respawn on death, huh?
Correct.
That is much better than a reload.
Yeah, it keeps everything moving super fast.
That's actually like a really good repurpose of a 1-up.
Yeah, and so like when you run out of 1-ups and you actually game over and you have to reload, it feels suitably disheartening. Like you
It's
fucked
like-
up.
It's like every Mario game past Super Mario World. You know, there's like, oh, be sure to collect those 1-ups. Why? If I lose all my lives, my game is saved anyways. It don't make
Yeah,
a
right.
difference.
And I've got 97 of them. What the
That
hell
always
do you want?
confused me in like Mario Odyssey. Like, why do I need lives? I'm auto-saving.
To be fair, Mario Odyssey didn't do lives, right? They just did coins.
Did they?
Yeah, you just lost 10 coins whenever you died. Mario 3D World did.
Yeah, you might be right. Like Mario Odyssey.
That
Maybe
guy wasn't
the
even
one
firing. Guy was just walking towards me, like asking for help. Did you
He was
see
just
that?
trying to get somewhere. He wasn't fully assimilated by hell yet.
Yeah, right. Like, wait. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Wait, no, I'm not the bad guy.
Pentagrams, aren't those like actually pagan and not satanic in nature?
Yeah, but you know, medieval Catholic Church turned everything that wasn't expressly Christian into satanic.
The same thing with like the upside down crucifix. Like, didn't one of the apostles say, "I'm not worthy of being crucified like Christ, so turn my cross upside down" or something?
Yeah, it was Peter.
Peter. Peter was crucified.
Yeah, upside down.
Okay.
Matthew was flayed alive. Thomas got hit with a spear. Let me think. I forget all of them, but you know.
Oh boy, the
there's some-
the early adapters of Christianity, you know, kind of like the early adapters of today's modern Bitcoin.
Yeah, it didn't always work out well for him.
It leveled out after a while. Had some rough patches, you know, growing pains during the Roman time. You know, I guess that's where we are right now. I guess like the crypto market is completely crashed, and I'm just kind of like, oh.
Well, that's
really,
actually
you don't
great
say.
news because that means you and I can now buy computers
Oh yeah.
and not pay $3,000 or more than they're worth.
I love how our generation wants the moral superiority of protecting the environment, but we also want to mine tons of Bitcoin too.
Right?
we want the moral sanctimony of Greta
Eh,
Thunberg,
I say
but we
we-
want to live like the Kardashians.
I say we pin that on Gen Z. That doesn't sound like a millennials thing. I can't be bothered to learn about crypto at this point.
It's money that's not money. It's basically just itchy and scratchy bucks is all it is.
Itchy and scratchy bucks. Knuckle bucks.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
did
you
somebody
know,
say knuckle bucks? Oh, god damn it.
it's like money, but you know, fun.
What, you guys don't like knuckle bucks? That was still one of our best ones.
That's how we started the channel. That's how we're gonna end up ending the channel.
Well, that was actually before we even Play the Hits. That was like circa
right,
2010.
right. That
yeah.
was during
It was just a joke about like Knuckles being this insufferable dickhead and punching tails every time he said something he didn't like.
while we were playing Sonic Generations. Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong? You guys don't like knuckle bucks? Hey, walk it back for me, Tails. What exactly was it that made you cry just now?
No, but anyways, yeah, I still have my HBO membership, so I found out that, strangely enough, HBO only has Mad Max 2. I wanted to watch the whole trilogy, but
Oh, really?
but I guess really the only one people care about is Mad Max 2. So I guess
That's where all the
fine.
quotes come from, yeah. I was going to say, you could always
Yeah.
watch Blade Runner again for the 47th time.
Oh yeah, that's true. I got to figure out which version of Blade Runner it is. Because,
It's the one where they get in the elevator and leave things ambiguous.
Okay, I'm much better with that.
Yeah, me too.
For was it Ridley Scott? He had to go back and pull a George Lucas and keep tweaking it.
I believe they refer to this one as the final cut, for whatever that's worth.
But I don't think it was like the original where they had like
No.
Harrison Ford do like a bunch of voiceovers to explain what was going on.
Right, like,
Yeah.
yeah. That one was pretty shitty, and then there was one where they, like, flesh it out, but in a way that didn't make any sense from what I've heard. I've really only ever seen the final cut, so, oh, shit. But I'm aware of the discrepancies between
I
some
like
of the
how you
other
pulled a
endings.
Wile E. Coyote. Like you clearly went over the ledge,
You
but
know?
like somehow you were like, and then like went right back.
No. Change my mind. You want me to get up there, Doom guy?
Well, there's a glowy bit on the red thing.
Saw a glowy bit?
Oh no, I guess there's not. Can't you just double jump your way up?
Not quite. It's okay, we'll figure this out. Well, let's see here. This seems to... Oh! Okay. There it is.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Those give me an extra midair dash. Oh!
All right.
Now watch me
Not-
squander. Oh, look!
Oh.
I survived!
Well, that was merciful. That was good level design.
I don't think it was. I think it was luck.
No,
There we go.
that was good level design.
Good level
I
design.
think that was not intentional for you to fall, but they knew there was a decent chance you would.
That I would just,
You know what I want to see? I want to see a new Turok game like this. That would be
Ooh.
wonderful.
What, like fresh coat of paint, but classic
Like
run and gun
fast and
Turok?
furious, but
Yeah.
I just want it to be like Turok's. People don't
I would
talk
be
enough
down for
about
that.
how freaking nuts Turok was. I mean, the main villain was some sort of religious fanatic cyborg from the future
Yeah?
who brought dinosaurs from the past to enslave like
A
humanity.
Navajo Indian from today.
And
or I don't know.
the only person who can stop them is Native American Bruce Willis.
That's a good way to put that.
I've been right in the back of the poll quote for this future game for a while. but no, I mean, like,
Why
and
did I
there's
slip into
aliens
Dr. Hibbert just
involved,
now?
and there's cyborgs, and like it's nuts. And then there's also dinosaurs. Like, there's a couple dinosaurs for the
Oh,
dinosaur
yeah.
hunter to fight. It's nuts. We should play it. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I've done Turok. I mean, the N64 one, but
Yeah, well, that's the only one that was like good.
didn't it
Two-
get its
two
start
has
as like
some-
a side-scrolling, like, PSX kind of game?
I don't think it started as that, but I think there were some like Game Boy games that were 2D.
Okay. I could be wrong.
You know, like that weird.
Oh, Duke
realm
Nukem.
of-
I'm thinking of Duke Nukem. Duke
Well,
Nukem
yeah,
got
Duke
a weird-
Nukem was very much originally a 2D side scroller.
which is just so weird to think about. There we go.
Well, not really, because it was basically chasing the coattails of the Commander Keen series, and then Duke Nukem 3D used the Doom
Right.
3D engine to chase the coattails of Bruce Campbell. So
Right. Well, and I just kind of think, though, that for most people, like, Duke Nukem began with Duke Nukem 3D.
And you'd be fine to think that because his original games were just bland and generic. I mean, the
Right.
one that did stand out was Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know, that was like, you know,
What is still
where
alive?
else on the N64 could you go and fight pig monsters in a porno theater, you know?
Oh, here we go. I was going to say,
No,
what did
that-
I leave alive down here?
Just something you didn't do as a kid on the N64.
That's very true. There it is. Yeah, every once in a while you think you've unlocked the door, and like one straggler enemy is still alive somehow. Wait. One gun. There we
Why
go.
is there like giant parts of you here?
Oh, the armor was originally used by these giant sentinel things, and
Okay.
yada yada yada.
'Cause
Ancient
I was
war
wondering
between
if this
Hell
was-
and the Marines, and yada yada yada. Reactivate them to blow open doors.
I was wondering if this was like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of scenario where you're just like small.
This is all happening on the back of like a demon toad or something. Oh, God.
What do they call Doom Guy? The Honey, I Shrunk the Doomslayer.
Honey, I Shrunk the Doomslayer.
There's your episode title.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I was liking not the Hillary Clinton one, but the one before that. Shit. When we were talking about Dr. Seuss and there's been a couple of kernels of comedic brilliance in this episode.
Yeah, it's been a good night. It seems like the more tired I am, the more on the ball I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
For at least another 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. This episode's about over, isn't it?
No, I mean like about another 5 minutes, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm just
okay.
dog tired.
Well, fortunately, we're about at the end of the episode.
Who would have thought hauling all that dirt would be so much work?
Yeah. If only there was a lower class of people that we could pay to do this for. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't. That was a joke. It was an untimely joke.
It's fine. It's fine. I know how it works. Whenever Chris says something racially insensitive, it gets edited out. But
It wasn't
when
necessarily
when
racially
Nick
insensitive.
makes a racial joke, it's "fuck you, Nick."
I like to. Oh, there we go. I like to
Nick
think
says,
it was
if
more.
Nick says it, we'll leave it in.
I would like to think it was more geared at those lazy, no good Gen Z folks who refuse to work for a living.
You want to hear something disgusting?
Sure.
Yesterday, I made like a gallon of Oreo chocolate coffee ice cream, and I have like no intentions of eating it.
Why the hell
I
not?
just felt compelled to make all this ice cream because I had all this heavy cream left.
Well, next time you have a sibling over, they'll have a nice treat. So wait, are you making your own ice cream now?
I've always made my own ice cream. I
Every
refuse
time
to-
I've tried that, it's turned out like hot garbage.
How do you make it?
I don't know. I've tried like 10 different ways and they all suck.
What are you using to make your ice cream?
I don't know. I've
What's
done
that
every.
guy?
I did like the plastic bags with the
Nope, don't do that.
salt trick. I've used like one of those stupid machines that stirs it for you and doesn't do anything.
What are those cylindrical machines?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying you can't use a toaster, man. If you can't do that,
Well, no, but I mean,
That's what I
it
used.
worked. It worked just fine. But at the end of the day, it wasn't any better than just going to the grocery store and picking up a pint of Ben and Jerry's.
no, that's the point. Is that you're making your own Ben and Jerry's for a portion of the price, and you control what's in it.
And it's not as good.
No, yeah, it's better.
No, not the
It's
way I
far
make
better.
it. Okay, well then I'll have to try some of your homemade ice cream then.
All right, I'll go ahead and I will FedEx ground freight. Some of mine to
Or you could come visit Bloomington.
or I can do that. I could just drop everything I'm doing with
Yep.
my audit and the OSHA investigation.
Come on, Nick, get your ass over here.
Tell my dogs that here's 2 pounds of food. It's got to last you 3 days, so don't eat it all at once.
Well, forgive me for prioritizing our friendship.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's difficult.
Oh, come on, baby.
the
You know I
logistics are
love you. You
overwhelming.
know I make time for you, baby. I just don't have time right now.
It could be
Okay,
fun
I
if
guess.
As I just hear the dog food being eaten in the background.
You knew what this was when you adopted me.
Rex, I don't think you should eat all the food. I need some.
You don't get to tell me what to do, bitch. Oh, God, he's calling everybody bitch. Nick, it's bedtime.
I'm getting text messages from my dogs about behavioral issues 30 minutes out.
Borp, borp, bitch.
Nick, he's doing that thing again.
I
What, the
told
thing
you it
where he
makes
says
me
bitch?
uncomfortable.
No, he's doing the thing where he just does nothing but all the quotes that Bruce Campbell says in Army of Darkness too. It's getting really annoying.
You know what? I'll just go down this way. Ooh.
Oh, that's something.
They'll probably kill me trying to get it, but
But it's okay. It'll even out because you'll have a 1-up.
yeah.
Unless you miss it, in which case you're just out.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
What up, baby?
Look at that.
Player's life signal is nearby.
This is
No.
nice in that you're not getting lost in these levels. That's good.
No, they're pretty good about showing you which way to go, even if you're totally ignoring the green diamond like I am.
Oh my god.
Lasers.
Okay. What if like the next Metroid Prime was like this?
Ooh.
Like the double jump with the boots is why I started thinking about that, because that's how it was in Prime.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, just go
That'd be wonderful.
all out on that one too, and
I am where I belong.
over the top like Metroid Dread style action. I would be down for that.
that would be wonderful.
Because Metroid
We'll
Dread
never get
was
Save
Metroid
the
Dread
people
was
who
so
want
fun.
peace. Only make the burden you carry worse.
You don't get to tell me what's worse. Nick, isn't that the guy who played Thanos?
The Conmaker herself.
No, this is the guy from Gears of
It is your
War.
people's time
It's the same damn thing, Nick. It's all the same.
Just as
Everything
it
is
mine.
derivative. Nothing is original. Art is dead. Bort bort.
Hear me, Slayer. When his heart is laid to rest, then his soul will be at peace.
Okay,
And
that
so
probably sounded a lot better when they were writing it until someone said it out loud.
Yeah, all right. Guys, was this stupid? Who the fuck cares? No one's, no one's listening. No one is listening. And they were right. God help them, they were right.
This is a Bethesda game. Did you just say Todd helped them?
That would have been better.
That would have been that would have been apropos.
Yeah. Spicy too.
I'm sorry, like I'm still just like looking in my head like what this would look like if this were like, you know, Metroid Prime. God, that'd be so good.
The extraction point has been identified.
Like, you know,
At
like
the market's location
Norfair and you know,
That
who
would be
am I-
cool.
We'll just get another derivative like 2D platformer that's like maybe better than ASMR 2, but probably not. Hey, there's a 1-up under that platform.
Yep.
If you can get it.
If I can get
So you
it.
can.
If I can get it. Alright. Now.
A good old Nintendo, like the most abusive relationship most people are ever in.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we'll give you maybe a good quality game, I don't know, once every
20
3
years.
Yeah.
Well, if we're using Metroid as the benchmark, yeah, literally once every 20 years.
That or Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I've heard really good things about that, surprisingly.
Yeah, you know what? Me too, which is weird because fucking Kirby, man, who gives a fuck?
Kirby was involved in Me Too.
Ooh, okay, well, I made it. It just wasn't
It
his-
wasn't pretty, but it
wasn't his,
worked.
wasn't his best landing, but he made it. Oh, Nick, I promised you the sword, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You said
There
you
we
were
go.
gonna Go to town. Oh my gosh.
Shouldn't be using it on those kind of small fry, but... There we go, chainsaw. You get the sword.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you need a sword and a chainsaw?
Chainsaw for the little guys, sword for the big guys.
I would use nothing but the Boba Fett flamethrower if I were playing. That's
You
all I would
wouldn't be
use.
wrong. You
I
there.
loved how in The Mandalorian would use his flamethrower in situations that you clearly could tell it would do no good, but he just needed to remind us he had it.
Yeah, right.
Because he only has like 3 tools and he has to show us
It's
all those
actually
tools
kind of
every
like this
episode.
game where like I never remember I have it until it's like not super necessary. And it just kind of serves to like let people know that this is what could happen to you if you piss me off.
Just as a warning. You know what? Did you ever finish watching the first season of the Boba Fett book?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Counting 1, 2, 3 with Boba Fett or whatever.
Three stupid unicycles.
Like, how did that end? Because like the last thing I had heard about that series was like basically the Mandalorian stepped in to salvage
Yeah.
Boba Fett's show for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
then
And,
it just-
and so it consequently it ended pretty good.
Is that how it ended? Oh god,
Yeah.
that's pathetic.
Like I enjoyed the last couple of episodes where
That's what
Boba
everybody
Fett
said.
was barely in it. Yeah.
Everybody who was following was like, yeah, the titular character wasn't in it. I was fine with that
Yeah.
because, yeah. Who plays the who? Oh my god, I almost said the Boba Fett Lorian,
Boba Fett.
but Boba Fett.
It sounds like the Homer, you know, the car that Homer made in that one episode.
Boba Fett sounds like something you would see at a Star Wars convention.
Oh my god. Nick, next time
Who
on
plays him? Manny Pacquiao? No, that's
God, I don't know.
Manny Pacquiao. That's the boxer from the Philippines. Who is it? No, we're not leaving until I remember who plays the Mandalorian.
You're gonna have to Google that shit with your smart device.
Or
It's,
I guess maybe next time on Play the Hits.
Fredo something. No, it's not Fredo.
Oh no,
Franco Frago. Frago. Yes.
Froggo? Are you having a
Froggo.
stroke?
A little bit. I've had 2 drinks. Leave me alone. And I
I'm
still
starting to think you've got a drinking. Pedro Pascal. What was so
Pedro
difficult
Pascal.
about
See,
that?
it kind of sounds like Frago.
I like that I Google the Mandalorian and Gina Carino still gets second billing.
Didn't she say some racist shit on Twitter?
No, she said some things on Twitter and doubled down on them that, in hindsight, don't seem so bad, but, you know.
At the time, they were a big deal, huh?
Well, yeah. Oh, she's ahead of Carl Weathers, who just never freaking ages.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right,
hey.
sorry, you're looking to end the episode. I respect
No,
that.
that's cool.
fine.
That's cool. And then the next time on Play the Hits, we're gonna descend further into Battles of Hell. We're on level 3.
All right. That sounds exactly like what we've been doing, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Excellent. We'll see you next time, buddy.